Here's my 1 minute TED talk on being a single mom. I've been a single parent since 1998. I've met various other kinds of single parents, whether they are female or male, is irrelevant in today's society, but many of them are between 30 and 40 years old, maybe have one or two or more children. There are some that are widows who have maybe lost their spouse, and then there are those who are temporary single mothers, and they are usually women whose husbands have been deployed or are on active duty in the military. So they are temporary single parents. The reason I bring this up is because there's a lot of younger single mothers who, by choice, and sometimes not by choice, are left with 100% care of their children with little to no child support. Those of you who receive child support are super blessed. I did for a time receive child support, and it really did help a lot because it was very hard to make all the ends meet together nicely. So even if I worked two full-time jobs or two part-time jobs to be equivalent of a full-time job, the child support did help cover the most necessary things. So for those of you who have been like me and did not have child support for a number of years, just know that God is still in control. He's always going to be in control. And as we learn to surrender our lives over to Him and our hearts are purely devoted to Him, He will continue to pour out in abundance whatever it is that we need for our children and for ourselves. Now, the biggest part of this is that we have to ask ourselves what is needful, what is necessary, what is a want, what is a desire. Once you have figured out what your family's basic needs are, trust God that He will actually supply your needs. Instead of being fearful or anxious about it, wondering where is the money going to come from, just let go of the things that are unnecessary. Basic needs are literally like 5 things. You need to pay your rent, pay your rent, pay your rent, pay your rent. I tell this to people all the time. 2, you have to make sure that you have a car. So you're paying your car payment or paying your car insurance. Your lights and your heat, definitely. So these are the top 3 priorities. Number 4, you're definitely going to make sure that you have food in your home for sure. And number 5, you really have to just look at what is current as far as your cell phone or Wi-Fi. Cable TV is not really a necessity. That is an absolute luxury. So the thing I'm saying is during these tough times that are happening right now, where money is tight, just look at the things that God has provided for you already. Look at the extras that are in your home. Maybe you can just start clearing out and start donating things. And if you're in a position where you can save money, try to at least, pay your tithes, your 10%, then pay the Lord, pay yourself, and try to at least put away $50 each week if you're able to do that. If you can't, then just start with the basic minimum, $5, $10, $15 a week. You'll be surprised how fast that adds up. We so often just jump at buying ourselves a cup of coffee on our way to school or work or whatever and add that up because those things cost us so much money in the long run. If you're really dutiful, for lack of a better word, definitely just try to take the time to figure out how you can make your coffees at home. Save yourself $15 to $25 a week. Stop buying your coffee somewhere else and just start making them at home. Bring it with you. If you can't make it at home, then, really, you're just going to have to tighten up your food budget a little bit more. And so stop and think about this. If you spend $30 on a takeout meal, take that $30 and put it in a missions basket, okay? Because your $30 meal might be somebody's $30 week's worth of groceries. You really just have to look at what is a need, what is a want. So that's just a handy dandy little tip from me. As far as other things that single moms definitely need. We need prayer chains for sure. We need people who are powerful intercessors who are praying for us and praying for our families. And even if you're a single parent through no fault of your own, or maybe it was your own decision, it doesn't matter. What matters is look at your current situation, look at your circumstances, and see what is it that you can do to start trimming your budget and start looking at the things that are really 100% necessary. Now, I'm saying all this because I've lived it and I know that the struggle is real. I know how hard it is to make ends meet. And I also know that in the family of God, we have wonderful people who are great givers. And even if you go to your church and you have a need and the church is able to fill your need, when you are in a position to be making some decent money for yourself as your kids get older, as they begin to move out, you have to take those extra money that you might have in the bank, start putting that into the mission, start putting that into your local food pantry. And what you were doing for your own family, now you can turn your attention to others in your circle of friends or in your neighborhood who really are hurting. And so just try to, focus your attention on what God would have you to do, where he would want you to be, and ask him to bless all those places that he has placed you. And just trust in his timing, because his timing is perfect. We don't need to look to a man to make us feel whole or needed or needful or appreciated. We often just look at our friends and our family for the support, but we have to become our own supporters as well. We have to be our own cheerleaders, our own advocates for our needs to be met. So you can literally take 5 minutes every single day and just go to the Lord in prayer and talk about those things that are bothering you in your heart and your mind, your soul and your spirit. Share it with him, because he really does desire to hear these things from you. And he's the one who's going to have all the power and all the authority to go ahead and fix your circumstances. And it may not be in the way that you thought it was going to be, but it's probably going to be 5,000 times better. I know that's the way things have worked in my life. So I just want to say, be encouraged, trust in the Lord, love him with all your heart, mind, body, soul, and strength. And I know I said this was a minute-long TED Talk. I've gone far beyond that minute, but I just am really feeling it pressed upon me today to actually put this video out, because it's very rare that I really put videos out like this. And this is just as raw and uncut as I could possibly get. And I do look forward to whatever it is that God has in store for me, as well as my friends and my family who love Jesus, love each other. And even if you come across somebody who doesn't know the Lord, you don't have to shove the word of God up their nose or down their throat. You don't have to force feed them anything. Just be the hands and feet of Jesus Christ and love others where they're at. Reach out to them in the simplest of gestures. Just love them where they are. Be a good friend. And like I tell my students, I tell my friends, spread joy wherever you go. Have a great, wonderful rest of your night. God bless you all.